Hello, it's Dawn Michelle from Boho Tarot, and today I am doing a VR to Lisa Papez with the hashtag #MyAdorableDecks. So I had a really difficult time. I know you wouldn't tell, judging by the amount of decks on my table, but I had a really difficult time going through my collection and trying to select decks for this tag because cute is not really my aesthetic. I don't really have a lot of decks that would really probably be considered cute. Like, I don't have like the happy tarot or things of that nature that really like embody that idea of cute and adorable, right? So I was going through my collection and I was like, well, this deck is really sweet, but I wouldn't say like it's adorable, right? And I have decks that I feel like have a really sweet, gentle energy, but they're not necessarily adorable. So I went through my deck collection, which is quite sizable, and tried to find the decks that most embody the idea of adorable for me within the context of my own collection. Because while I can look at things like the Happy Tarot and go, oh yeah, that's super adorable, right? But that's not really an aesthetic that resonates with me. So the decks in my collection that would even possibly can be considered adorable may be slightly different from what we've seen in other videos. And that's what makes tags like these so much fun, because we get to see kind of everybody's expression of what that means to them in their collection, and it's so much fun. So I'm going to divide this video up into 3 sections. We're going to take a look at some of my mass market decks, some of my indie decks, and then at the end I do have one out of print deck that honestly, I think is probably the cutest of all of them. So let's make some space and take a look at my adorable decks. So we're gonna start with what is probably, besides the out of print deck, the cutest little RWS tarot that I own. And this is the White Sage Tarot. This is the one in the tin. Y'all have probably seen this one, not only on my channel, but all around the tarot tube many times. And I know I saw this one in this video response for a couple of different people. So it's definitely like a cute little pip style deck, but really it's these animals. I mean, it's all of the animals. Like, this is one of the cutest little devil snakes. The otters, the court cards, I always accidentally shuffle that in. The court cards are my favorite in this deck, which is not something I usually say, but even like the really pip style cards, like I still think they're like so sweetly, charmingly illustrated. Again, that's not necessarily something that maybe everybody considers adorable. Maybe that's 2 different things. But to me, all of the animals in this deck are super adorable. Like, look at those lovers. That's my favorite suit, the pentacles with the elephants. That's just like everything. So yeah, this is one that I think just, he makes me smile. And I don't really like the Emperor card in most decks. So the fact that the Emperor card makes me smile in this deck is really something special. But I think the animals are just so adorable. And this hermit, the sloth in the hoodie. I mean, you can't get much cuter than that. And to boot, this deck is a little cute little tin size. So, I mean, it's just like checking all the adorable boxes for me. It's cute and sweet, and as I was noticing, a lot of the decks that I chose for my adorable decks are decks that have animals in them. So apparently, I really think animals are quite adorable in a general sense. So that is, and I need to remember to put these cards behind. Obviously, as you can tell, I use these cards when I work with this deck because they always end up in the deck. Here's the backs. So yeah, that is probably, I would say, my most adorable Rider-Waite-Smith tarot deck. And the reason I say that is because the next deck we're going to look at is a Marseille. So the next adorable deck is the Tarot di Maria Celia. And again, this one, just like the White Sage Tarot, has the whole, it's adorable because it's teeny tiny and it's in a tin. I almost pulled the Wild Unknown Pocket Edition into this video because adorable too, because it's teeny and it's in a tin, and that just makes it super, super cute. But the artwork itself is not actually super cute, so I didn't put it in here. So this is the Tarot de Maria Celia, and this is the backs. And again, I just think this is the cutest little Marseille. I love the color palette in this deck as well. It's one of my favorite Marseille decks to work with. But I just think that the quartz and the majors are just like, there's something super adorable about the way that they are depicted. I mean, even the minors being very pippish, because of course it's a Marseille deck, are still super adorable. I mean, there we go again with an adorable emperor. I mean, he's kind of cute. Like, look at his stubby little legs. He's kind of cute. So yeah, I think this deck has it all over for adorable Marseille. Like, it's definitely the most adorable one in my collection in terms of Marseille decks. Like, even this death card is adorable. You know, it's like that teeny tiny tin size. Well, not teeny tiny, but you know, it's tin size, so that makes it even more adorable. I've edged it. Like, yeah, it's a favorite. I love the color palette, and I love the kind of tea stained paper look that this deck has as well. So yeah, that is probably the most adorable Marseille style deck that I have in my collection. That's the Tarot de Maria Celia. So the next deck from my mass market selection of adorable decks is the Tarot of the Divine. Now this is a deck that you'll see it's still in order, so I haven't worked with it yet. And I purchased it to be able to work with this summer. But I do think that this artwork, let's take a look at the backs. Cute backs. I do think that the artwork in this deck is super adorable. Like, I mean, look at this magician. Like, Cinderella, she's adorable. It's just, yeah, I think it's just cute and adorable. And I mean, like, look at that. That is just adorable. See, this is my idea of adorable. A big scary beast all curled up with somebody. Obviously not every card is adorable, although I do think, like, in general, the art style of this deck is pretty dang cute. Let's see if we can get to some of the minors. I mean, look at that Six of Cups. The Six of Cups is like almost always adorable in a deck, right? You could pull out the Six of Cups in just about any deck and go, oh, that's cute. But I think overall, like the figures in this deck, the people, they're so cute. The way that they're illustrated is cute. It has a very friendly, kind of approachable and kind of cute and adorable little energy. Even this Four of Swords that I find is really appealing. I, again, have not worked with this deck. I haven't read with it, so I can't tell you if that's actually the energy of it. That's just kind of my first impression energy. But it just has so many cute little cards in it. I mean, it has some cards that aren't, like, they're beautiful and they're depicted wonderfully, but I wouldn't call them adorable. But overall, like, I think the figures in this deck, like the characters in this deck, are super adorable. Like, look at this Queen of Wands. I mean, she's powerful, but she's also super adorable, right? Super cute. So yeah, that one is kind of it's mostly adorable. And again, because I don't have many adorable decks, I kind of had to adjust my idea of what was adorable, or kind of look at adorable within the context of my collection and the decks that I have. Which is always interesting when we do these kind of multi-deck collection tag things to kind of see how everybody is approaching them. So again, that is the Tarot of the Divine. So another super cute, adorable mass market tarot deck in my collection is the Mystic Fairy Tarot. Here is the backs. This one is just, I think these little fairies are just, like, they're super cute. I don't know if you'd consider them adorable, but the fact that they are like these teeny tiny fairies makes them super cute and adorable in my book. And I mean, like, look at here with the little, like, hamsters. I don't know. There's just, I mean, even this Six of Wands, we have the little cute little dragon and these big mushrooms. Like, the whole vibe of the deck for me is just kind of like adorable fairies. is of course very Victorian fairy, and you know, has a really soft, wonderful spring energy to it. But I also think like the cards are just adorably illustrated. I mean, this is like one of the most adorable devils. Like, is he not super cute? So yeah, I guess I use adorable and cute all interchangeably, but it's not like, it's not really my go-to with my decks. I tend to like decks that are a little bit more either kind of earthy and nature-based, or kind of like collagey and in your face. But it was fun. It's fun to go through and see, you know, what I have that actually fits into this and what I would consider, you know, adorable. Again, adorable Six of Cups. So that one is the Mystic Fairy Tarot. I think that one is another just adorable little fairies deck that I actually do quite enjoy working with in the spring. So let's take a look at a new deck. I mean, this will be like no surprise to anybody if you've been on TarotTube, because everybody's been showing this deck. This is the Woodland Wardens, and I have not used mine, so it's still in order, but I mean, I think the artwork in this deck is just absolutely charming, and like, I don't know if it quite classifies as adorable. It's like adorable in the way that Oh Gash and Thorn is adorable, which of course, you know, we'll be taking a look at here in a moment because that's an adorable deck. I do like, it's charming. I don't know if adorable is even quite the right word for it. Because like this boar isn't like super adorable, but he's charming. Although the bat, I think the bat's kind of adorable. Even this caiman, like, I mean, he's kind of cute. This skunk, like, total Pepe Le Pew, like, he's totally cute, right? So, I mean, cute little bee. Again, fox, maybe not so cute, more charming. Okay, the possum is not adorable, but the illustration of the possum is very, very charming. So I guess that's another kind of keyword I throw in there with adorable. It's like cute, adorable, charming. Look at that little ladybug. Like, it's cute, right? The little porcupine and the otter. I mean, there are loads of cute animals in this deck as well. But overall, I feel like it's a very sweet, a very charming little oracle deck. Clearly, I have not worked with it because honestly, I'm going to trim it first. If we're just like being all honest about our deck collections here. These borders are just, they're a little much for me, and the printing's off-centered, so I'm just going to trim mine. But once I get that done, then I'm going to work with it. Did I show you the backs? Here's the backs. You've probably seen this deck if you've been watching tarot videos lately, because a lot of people have shown it. So that is the Woodland Wardens Oracle deck. I think this is the only mass market Oracle deck I have in this collection. So the last one in my mass market category is my most adorable playing card deck, and this is the Jane Austen playing cards. This one's really cool because there's actually this little guide in here that gives you instructions for 5 different Regency games, so you can play like actual card games with it, which I have done and is a lot of fun. But I think that this artwork is super, super adorable. This is totally my idea of adorable. Like, these little characters are so cute. I love that every card has a character or two. It's just, yeah, the cutest little playing card deck. At least the cutest one, the most adorable one that I own. And it's on like beautiful, like standard playing cardstock, so it's just like a joy to work with. And I have used it for divination, and I have used it for playing card games, so it's very versatile as well. But I just think it's like the illustrations. Again, it's that charming, cute, adorable thing. Like, look at Mr. Darcy. Like, he's adorable in this little deck. So yeah, that's my super cute, adorable little playing card deck, probably the most adorable one that I have. And honestly, part of that is just because most of the playing card decks that I have that are like in my, you know, divination or card collection are mostly video game related or sci-fi fantasy movie related. So I definitely have a kind of theme when it comes to playing cards. but I do love my Jane Austen playing cards. They're like probably up there as, this is probably my favorite playing card deck of all time so far. So I'm really enjoying playing with it, and I also think it's super adorable. Okay, so let's move on to the indie decks. And in this bag here, which is a beautiful embroidered bag from Aeon Moon, I'll be sure and leave a link for that in the description box below. This is, of course, the Oak, Ash, and Thorn. I have seen this deck on many people's adorable tag videos, and yeah, the animals in this deck are super adorable. Like the little squirrels are adorable. I mean, look at that squirrel. The little foxes are adorable. I mean, even the Justice Wolf is adorable. So how many times can we say adorable in one video? We should count. I love the hares. I mean, this one's, that's a sad little card, but look at these little hares with the Three of Pentacles. I mean, come on, that's just super, super cute. So yeah, the sword suit maybe not as adorable and cute, but oh, so charmingly illustrated though, right? Such a gorgeous, gorgeous deck. I mean, should we just sit here and look at the cards? Because like, look at his little face. Oh my goodness. I mean, I do like cute and adorable things. I just don't tend to collect decks that are super cute and adorable. Like, I don't have a huge collection of them. It's a very unique thing in my collection. A very specific thing because, as you can see, most of my adorable decks are kind of like in that sort of charmingly illustrated type of vibe as well. So that tends to be more of what I go for. I mean, he's so cute. I think it's animals. I think my animal decks, the only deck I can think of that isn't a cute animal deck is the Brady Tarot. But every other animal deck I have, I think, has like super cute, sweet illustrations of animals. That definitely tends to be, I think, the way that I interact with animal decks. And so the majority of them are actually in this video. So that is the Oak, Ash, and Thorn. So speaking of animal decks, I have to pull out my Northern Animal Tarot because I think this deck is super adorable. Here's the backs. I have the Imperfect First Edition, which I absolutely love. I have rounded the corners with a larger corner rounder, and then of course I've edged the deck. I think that this has the most adorable animals. They are so cute, and I absolutely love working with this deck. It is anthropomorphized animals. So kind of the other end of the spectrum from Oak, Ash, and Thorn, we have animals that are very much inhabiting the people realm, whereas in Oak, Ash, and Thorn, that's very much animals inhabiting their natural environment. And this is animals inhabiting ours. So it's really interesting. It's a different kind of animal energy, but I just think that this illustration style is super cute, and I think these animals are super adorable. And I absolutely love working with this deck. It's one of my favorites. It's such an easy reader for me, but it's also like super sweet and super charming. And yeah, it makes me happy. This is one of those decks that when I'm having a bad day, I will get this deck out and I will do a reading with it because it will almost always make me feel better, regardless of what the reading even really is. It is more of just interacting with these characters that will totally make me feel better. And like even the devil, like that's a super cute devil. So yeah, I mean, definitely I think that I tend to go more for, like I said, cute animals. And that tends to be what the adorable decks in my collection tend to have, some sort of cute animal energy to them. So in fact, probably half. So that is the Northern Animal Tarot. So the next indie deck that I have is the Gentle Tarot, and this is my new linen edition because yes, I needed another edition of this deck. I do have to say this has become my favorite edition. I need to make a bag for it still. But this is the edition that I've been using more than the first edition and more than the prototype pocket that I have. This edition is amazing. The cards are the perfect size. The cardstock is amazing in this deck. But that's not really what we're here to talk about. I think this art style, Mari's art style, is super adorable. I absolutely love the way she illustrates. It just, again, it's another deck that just makes me happy whenever I look at it. I mean, I've talked about this deck so many times on my channel. It's, you know, it's become a favorite. It's become a staple. I use it all the time. But I think this illustration style is so adorable. I love the way she illustrates her cards. I love the animals. Again, super, like, look at that. Super cute, adorable animals. And just overall, like, the energy is so sweet. I mean, this deck is so appropriately named. I think of all the decks I have, this is the deck that I think has the most spot-on name to inhabit the deck's energy, and that is the Gentle Tarot, because that is exactly what this deck is. It is the ultimate supportive hug deck that just, I don't know, makes you feel better. It kisses all your boo-boos. That's how we've come to describe this deck in my house. It kisses all your boo-boos. That's what it does. And I think it's adorable. I really, really do. I could have pulled the pocket one out because the pocket one is super cute because, again, it's little. But this one is actually in between the size of the full-size first edition and the smaller pocket edition. It's like right in between. And honestly, like, this one I think is perfection. Like, it's perfection. I love it. It's like my favorite to shuffle, and I so enjoy working with it. So that one is the Gentle Tarot. So speaking of animal decks again, this is the Wild Whiskers Spirit Animal Oracle. Again, it's an animal deck. This one, again, walks that line between cute, adorable, charming. Like, is that all the same thing? Are these all just the same thing? I think they are. At least in my world, they are. I think these have the cutest dang animals in them. I love this creator's illustration style. The animals are just, they're adorable. I love all the little flowers. Even the flowers are adorable. The text is adorable. Like, here we have the optimistic otter, the tenacious tiger, the proud peacock. I know I've shown this deck before, but the fearless frog. I absolutely love everything about this deck. It is the cutest dang thing. I so enjoy working with it. I don't really tap into the animal energy, although there's a little bit of that in the guidebook. It is really more about the keywords for me. And this super adorable artwork, which, yeah, this is another one that I could pull out, and it makes me happy. And I love that it's on black. I don't have very many Oracle decks that have a black background. And I love that it pulls a kind of different energy into the reading. So it's just, yeah. The observant octopus, the grounded goat, the serpent sage, and the clever crow. I mean, it's just, yeah, the crafty crocodile and the mischievous monkey. Like, it's just super cute. I did not edge it. It came edged in black, which is cute. And even the backs, even though it's like it's an anatomical heart, still freaking adorable. So that is my, I think, only indie oracle that I have on this list. And again, it's another animal deck. So that's the Wild Whiskers Spirit Animal Oracle. So my last indie deck is the cutest dang little deck created by Julie of Peekaboo Rose, and it is the Notorious JBG Tarot Mini. And you'll see mine is still in order because I haven't actually worked with it yet, and I want to edge it, and there's like some extra cards, so I need to go through it. But so we're going to keep it in order. Now, this deck features artwork by Jasmine Beckett Griffith because she made a bunch of her artwork available for public use. So Julie went through and created a deck using her artwork. And I have to say that I think this is the absolute best compilation of artwork with Jasmine Beckett Griffith artwork that I've seen in any of the decks. Like, mass market people need to contact Julie because clearly she knows what she's doing when it comes to this. Because the images that she chose so relate to the tarot. Like, you can tell that Julie knows what she's talking about with this deck, right? She knows the energy of the card, and she has really chosen images that just full on embody the tarot, and it's just beautiful the way that she's put this together, and the things that she's the images that she's chosen. And so while this deck, Jasmine Beckett Griffith, because I do have one other of her like mass-produced decks. I think it's a Lucy Cavendish deck. It's the vampire one. And I would not call that deck adorable. Like I love it. It's a super, super fabulous reader, but it's definitely not in my adorable list. And I think that this one has it has some images that I wouldn't necessarily consider maybe adorable. Like this one is in the Vampire Tarot. I recognize that. And like there's bloody handprints on the wall and blood on the bed and stuff, and I wouldn't necessarily call that adorable. But this deck overall, like the whole energy of it is just super adorable and fun and playful, and like it's got sass and attitude, and the images that Julie has chosen for this deck just really help bring that energy out. So it's just like, yeah, it's super cool. I mean, like, look at the backs. I wouldn't consider that adorable. I think they are stunning, stunning backs, but I wouldn't necessarily consider them adorable. But the deck overall is the cutest, most adorable selection of Jasmine Beckett Griffith artwork, and like Julie just knocked it out of the park with this one. It's so wonderful. She did such a great job. If this art style, if Jasmine Beckett Griffith art appeals to you, go check out Julie's deck because it's fantastic. The Animal Tarot by Doreen Virtue and Bradley Valentine. This deck, it's been on my wish list for like a really long time. But it's been out of print for quite a while. And actually, it was on my wish list before it was out of print, and I was just dragging my feet because I'm like, it's a Doreen Virtue deck. Here's the thing, I don't care. I don't care, it's a Doreen Virtue deck. I sure put Bradley Valentine's name on it. I wish they would bring this deck back into print with just fine Bradley Valentine, because I think this, look at this cow. Oh my goodness. I think this is the cutest freaking tarot deck ever, and I have used it. I have worked with it. I did quite a few readings with it after our dog passed away, because like there's a lot of dogs in this deck, and I'm sorry because it is out of print, but oh my goodness, it has the cutest cards, the cutest animals, and apparently that's where my cute meter lies, is like if there's adorable little animals, that's what I go for. I love that there's a husky. We had a husky. My son currently has a husky. Like, it's just, oh, it's so cute. The animals are so cute. And even the cards that don't have animals in them are super cute. So yeah, I know it's like, I mean, it's kind of like in the Cheese Factor. I mean, like this whale has like a gold crown on his head, and like it's full on Doreen Virtue energy, right? But I don't even care. It's such a great little reader. Look at that strength card. I love it. I love it. I'm not sad that I bought it out of print. I'm not sad that I paid out of print prices for it. I wish I wouldn't have dragged my feet and I'd bought it when it was still available mass market, because, you know, of course. But look at this Empress. I'm sorry. And look at this Emperor. Like, I know it's out of print. I should probably quit. But I do honestly think, like, look at the backs. It makes me giggle when I look at the backs. This deck is another one of those that it just makes me happy, and I so enjoy working with it, and it's just such a pleasant deck to read with. All right, so let's go through. Let's see how many animal decks I actually had. So we had the Animal Tarot, we have the Wild Whiskers, the White Sage, the Woodland Wardens, the Oak, Ash, and Thorn, and the Northern Animal. Those were all of the animal decks that I selected for my collection to be my cute and adorable decks. So apparently, yeah, adorable animals is where it's at for me. I mean, I do think the artwork in the Gentle Tarot is super cute, and it also has animals, so that's kind of a gray area. I do think the cards in the Mystic Fairy tarot are super cute, and there are some animals, so animals in that one too. I think there's even animals in this deck because I feel like there was like deer and stuff like that. I mean, we're just hanging out and playing, so let's just have a look real quick because I'm pretty sure, yep, there's a cat. Is it just one? I mean, we're still gonna call it. Nope, there's some bunnies, there's a tiger. Okay, so it has animals in it. So that is, let's see, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 out of the 11 decks that I chose for this tag are solely animal decks or have animals in them. That's kind of funny. So the only 2 that don't are the Jane Austen playing cards and the Tarot de Maria Celia, which technically does still have animals because like the knights, right? But we're not gonna count that one. So those are my 11 adorable decks. This has actually been a lot of fun. It was a lot more of a challenge than I thought it was gonna be, but it was super fun to go through my decks, and now really enlightening to see that my adorable scale definitely leans more toward animal decks than anything else. So that's always interesting. And these tags are always great for kind of cueing us into those things in our own kind of working with the tarot in our own practice and the decks that we use. So thank you so much to Lisa for putting this tag together for us. It's been so much fun to watch all of the VRs. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to sharing with you again soon.